Hi guys, welcome to the next episode of Mr. and Mrs. Chi. Last week I bring you guys to my kitchen and service yard. This week will be the main living room and probably a bit of the entertainment aspect of the living room. Third part for the master bedroom and two other rooms including toilets. So let's start with the main door. HDB comes with a standard door like this and a door closer. This door is more like a fireproof door, so if anything happens to the house, touch wood, in case of any fire, you can just get out of the unit and the door closer will do its job to make sure the door is closed. First thing first, you'll be greeted with a digital lock here. This is the Samsung, I think P278 model. Why I like this is because of its color and the roundness of this lock. I believe it comes with the first version is 718. I believe it's more of an edgy type of feel, but this is more of the smooth roundness, and it's upgraded version. Comes with I think Bluetooth function, which I don't really usually use. I just mainly use for the tap function. This lock comes with three methods of unlock function: the card, the number lock, and mechanical key. So that's why it's more fail-safe lah. So regardless of battery flat or whatsoever, you still can get in with a mechanical key. Right up next is my door viewer here. This door viewer has a motion sensor. Why I choose to have a motion sensor digital lock is because if somebody tapers my digital lock, I know, and I can make a report on him or her lah. So yeah, this is a motion sensor door viewer with a doorbell, so I don't need to install a doorbell. Okay, right up next is the DB box. Okay, by default this DB box comes with white finishing, and for those who like white, you are good. But for me, I don't really like white. Is because from white it gets yellow over sometimes, might look a bit dirty to me. So I told my ID to change it to match all the carpentry around the house. It's just a simple removal of the HDB panel, and they bring it back to the workshop and re-laminate over it. And yeah, and also the inside details here, this darker brown shades here. This is white also, so I asked them to paste a laminate on top of it to match. Inside here is your fiber net, your internet, your telephone line. Anything regardless of electrical stuff and networking stuff are all stored inside here. I made a whole episode of networking and electrical stuff for future episode. So make sure you just stay tuned and see what I do with it. So I done up a carpentry to cover up the shelter inside. So all these are normal storage and shoe racks over here, and I also done up some electrical plug here for charging station. So HDB has two ventilation holes inside, so by regulation you can only seal one of it inside, and the other one has to be open for ventilation for obvious purposes. This is a huge tic-tac door. Hidden inside is my shelter. So for safety purposes, I do not want this shelter door to be way open, so I asked the contractor to do up a stopper at the carpentry side here to stop the door from fully open. Yeah, it stops right here. So rather than just go all the way and damage the door like that. So basically it's just a normal storage, you know, shelter area is more for storage area lah. Okay, so to continue on, this is the additional storage on top of the shelter storage I have. So mainly these areas are for daily storage, you know, things like newspaper, floor mat, and the whole entire cabinets here are storage for all this usage. Yeah, this is a running place for me. Some of you may have known I'm self-employed and work from home, so I need some form of exercise and I'm too lazy to go outside. So every morning I wake up and will stay here for 30 minutes, proceed for my breakfast. So it's a form of exercise for me. Okay, so this is another highlight of my house, and this is called a memento. So why it's so special is you can see all these details here. They are painted by every single brush stroke randomly, and also not so randomly because there has to be a certain pattern. The entire wall here is all this memento. Not every painter have the skill to do this, and before they try to paint it, I try to paint it myself, and it's quite hard because of the paint material, the contents in the paint, and it makes it hard to control the brush strokes. So yeah, this might look nah, but when you try to do it yourself, it's quite hard. And to be consistent for such a big wall is really difficult. Okay guys, right now we are at the dining area here. You know, in every house there is always an IKEA item around it. So yeah, this the dining set tables and chairs are from IKEA or IKEA, if you will. I don't know what you want to pronounce it. What is best about this set is extendable table set, which means this is able to accommodate about 6 people comfortably, 8 people if you squeeze a bit, and when it extends out, you can accommodate additional 4 people, so which means around 12 of us can squeeze inside this table. Yeah, I have to plan ahead to have you know, family gatherings, friends gatherings. So I think this table is well suited for every occasions. Nothing really special about this table, but what I have added is this special anti-slip mat from Taobao. What is special about this mat is first thing first is anti-slip and water resistant. Not really dust resistant, so you still have to really do a bit of housework. So when you put a plate on top of it, it has some kind of a sticky feel on the plate and the mat, so it reduces accidental spill. It's a custom cut, which is you just let them know the length and the width, so they will just cut it especially for you. One tip from getting things from Taobao is, especially this kind of plasticky items, is you have to really open it out and let it air a bit, because most of their stuffs are from the main factory itself, and it has those plasticky smell, so you have to open it up and let it air a bit, so to get rid of the smell. Okay, one good thing to note is the ceiling fan. As you have been noticed, there is not a lot of stuff going around at my the whole living room floor. Why? Is because I like to keep stuff away from the floor, and I have a robot vacuum running around the house to really get around the areas. So big thanks to Weitat and their family, because they have been doing a lot of logistic work, if you will, taken up a lot of their precious time to help me get all these fans from Malaysia. Do note that all these fans are legally obtained from Malaysia. We pay tax and all the necessary paperwork, we all done it. Why we get it from Malaysia is because of the cost of all the ceiling fan. Because the cost for ceiling fan in Singapore, I find it a bit expensive. Okay, why I say this is because this exact model from Singapore is around 800 Sing dollar, which is fine if you don't really do your homework. I mean, I get this about 700 ringgit. Do note, 700 ringgit. I mean, a bit over lah. If you were to include the GST, all that is around 800 ringgit. Okay, so for this fan, 800 ringgit, do your calculation. How much is it in Singapore? I mean, if you add in the installation fee, all that, it is still way cheaper than in Singapore. Okay, so right up next is this small entertainment area here for me. Right here you can see it's the normal sofa itself, and televisions and the sound systems are all stationed around here. So what I have researched and done up with this area here is I try to get most of my carpentry in a safest way, as in, you know, child safe, elderly safe. You know, when kids are running around, you know, my friends have kids, when they come to my house, I want their kids to feel safe. So all the carpentry have rounded edges. I mean, most because there are some of the areas I can't really do it round edges. I mean, the whole house is designed by me. I just show the idea that, okay, I want this stuff to be here, this stuff to be designed this way. So the idea will just, oh, okay. So let him calculate the price and come back to me. So yeah, this is mainly designed by me. Yeah, this is a normal 4K TV. What brand? LG brand. Okay. So what is special about this TV is obviously it's 4K. It's able to upsample from 1080 to 4K. What is good about this TV is it's HDR ready lah. That means it's a new technology which produce more vibrant color. There are two types of HDR in the market. One is HDR10 and the other one is Dolby Vision. So mainly this TV supports two of them. Whenever I have any media with these two types of HDR technology, I am able to play it with this TV lah. I mean, right now they have a lot of new technology, you know, for example like QLED, OLED. These two are the main top performance on TV aspect, and I felt that it is way overpriced and way out of my league. So I decided to, you know, let's just get a decently good and okay TV. So when I bought this TV and I have get the other, I think 42-inch normal Full HD TV for free, you know, for the price of one you get two TVs, which is, I think, sounds reasonable. So right out next is the sound system. I have a 7.1 channel. I mean, if it break down, I have 5.1.2 channel. So what it means is there are 5 surround channel and 2 Atmos channel. Atmos channel is an additional ceiling speakers to reflect sound from the above. Why I chose this kind of system is I have tried researching for soundbar. Soundbar itself is not an issue, which I have experience with it, is quite decently well performed. But for a good soundbar, it costs about 2,000. So I get this Atmos system here for around 2,500. I mean, for additional 500 to get this surround sound with Atmos is a decent upgrade. So I have tried soundbar with Atmos capability, but you know how do soundbar get Atmos capability is they reflect sound from the ceiling. So what you get is a soundbar itself here and additional 2 speakers firing on top, so it bounces the sound up to your ears. I don't feel that is quite good because eventually, you know, sound bounces here and there. I would rather direct speakers on top of it to project the sounds to my ears rather than really bounce it off everything. And the second consideration why I choose this system is my living room is not a square space, you know. It's more like a rectangular area here, so it's not very optimal for the soundbar to project the sounds in a odd shape. You know, if your room or your living room is square in a shape and a very boxy type one, it's much more easier for soundbar to project sound. But for me, my living room is quite long and a lot of different walls bouncing off all these sounds, which might affect the sound projection from the soundbar. So what I chose is a $500 upgrade from a soundbar to a 5.1.2 channel with a receiver. Okay, so with the receiver I have, right, this receiver is capable of calibrating all the 7 channels around my house for the optimum viewing experience around this area here at the sofa. So with a receiver, there's a calibration device to calibrate the sound projection to this viewing area here. So what it does is you have to put a microphone to all the viewing positions. I have lined it up around this area here. Then the microphone will pick up all the voice from all the different channels and project the voice accordingly. one good thing about receiver is, you know, right now we have a lot of media player devices, you know, things like Xbox, PS, TV box, you know, computers, and there are so many HDMI cables around. You know, sometimes for TV you only get about 2, 3, if you're lucky, 4 HDMI ports, and it might not be enough for you. So with this receiver, I can have 8 different HDMI cables, plug it in, and only one HDMI connects to the TV. So my TV has only one HDMI cables connected to my receiver, and my receiver will handle all the other HDMI ports. And one good thing about this is I can switch to every different HDMI inputs through one remote control. So for the speakers, I have one channel right beneath the TV, which mainly called the center channel, and the basic left and right channels. And the other two way at the back at the dining area there is another 2 rear left and rear right. And the Atmos came from 2 ceiling speakers over there. So all these speakers are projecting different types of ambient sound and the action sound. You know, when you go to a cinema, there is all around you the advertisement, the tennis ball bouncing around, and this is what I can achieve within my house. For investment like this, you know, speakers don't really get out of trend. You know, TVs, right, they get outdated quite quickly. You know, every 3 or 5 years there is something new coming out. But for audio wise, it is here to stay for a longer period lah. So I mean, for audio, you can invest good money on TV, but you have a bad audio system, that's it. You have ruined your viewing experience by getting a cheap speaker. So I think that's all for this episode, and hopefully you liked it. Do like and subscribe to our channel, and I hope to bring you guys more information around the house. Next week we will go to my master bedroom and 2 other rooms and 2 common toilets. There are 5 areas to cover, so do stay tuned and watch out.